Hello, Queens Hill Primary School. My name is Giulietta, and I'm going to read a chapter of my book, The Ice Giant. So just before this chapter starts, Elika and her Aunt Caroline are in Iceland, and they're in a car, and Elika has dropped a very important crystal near the car, and they're about to meet the Ice Giant. Elika stared at the huge figure walking across the icy landscape towards them from the car. Her heart beat fast with fear. Aunt Caroline was still outside the car, and Elika was afraid for them both. She rolled the car window down. "Aunt Caroline," Elika yelled, "get in the car. Let's leave the crystal and go." But Aunt Caroline actually walked towards the huge moving shape. Elika felt the whole car shaking as it came closer. It was as big as a T-Rex and shaped sort of like a human, except it looked like it was made of ice. An ice giant. Elika was too scared to breathe. The giant walked right by Aunt Caroline, throwing a shadow as big as a giant redwood tree with its ice blue body. It went straight to the crystal. Its massive knees bent as it crouched down to look at it. When it turned to Elika, she was struck by the intelligence in the creature's large, light blue eyes. "Gift?" it asked. "You bring me this gift?" Its voice was high and clear, just like the moaning voice in Elika's dreams. The giant held the crystal up to examine it. It didn't seem to be melting its icy hand. Elika nodded slowly. She wished the window was rolled up, but she was too scared to move. "Gift," Elika said, "for you." Her voice came out very quiet, as she was afraid. "Come out," the giant said. "Let me see you." Elika shook her head no. She wished Aunt Caroline would jump in the car and drive them away. "We have to go," Elika said. "Aunt Caroline," she yelled. Her aunt came right next to the giant. Now Elika was more afraid for her aunt than for herself. The giant looked like it could crush her with one ice fist. "Have you been calling alone?" Aunt Caroline said in a normal voice, as if she was making chit-chat. "My niece Elika hears this in her dreams." The giant's blue eyes grew wider, and it stared at Elika. "I did not know a human heard me," the giant said. "I have been calling for years, longer than most humans live." The ice giant scowled. Its eyes looked fierce. "I don't like humans," it said. "I would not have called if I knew it would bring humans." The ice giant clenched its huge ice fist. "I was calling giants," she said. Its square jaw was clenched. Now even Aunt Caroline looked worried. Her eyebrows knit together. "Elika, shall we go?" Aunt Caroline said. Elika shook her head yes. Finally, Aunt Caroline was on the same page as Elika. Hopefully they could drive away without the giant getting angrier. But the giant surprised them. "Go?" the ice giant said. "But you just got here. Stay." "I thought you just said you don't like humans," Elika said. "We can leave, no problem." "But you brought me a rare gift," the ice giant said. "The gift of this crystal. I must welcome you in my cave in return." Aunt Caroline's eyes gleamed. "A chance to see where it lives," Aunt Caroline mumbled to herself, loud enough for Elika to hear. "Aunt Caroline," Elika said. "She said she doesn't like humans." "Wait," she turned to the ice giant. "Are you a she?" she asked. "Of course," the ice giant said, her eyes wide and astonished. Well, it's cold, and there's no phone signal, so really we should go," Elika said apologetically. "My parents will worry." Aunt Caroline sighed. "I guess you're right," she said. "Let's go." Before Aunt Caroline could get back in the car, the creature pinched the back tire of the car with her finger and thumb until it popped. "There," the ice giant said. "I have seen many of these human movers. They will not work when that wheel is flat." Aunt Caroline eyed the tire. Come on, Elika, let's stay for a little while. What an opportunity! Elika got shakily out of the car. She stood close to Aunt Caroline. Don't worry, Aunt Caroline whispered to her as they followed the ice giant who beckoned to them. I have a spare tire. I don't have a good feeling about this, Elika said. Her knees wobbled with fear. We'll be fine, Aunt Caroline said. I just know it. Now let's see her ice cave. This is so fascinating. Elika sneaked a peek at her phone. Still no signal. She gulped. No one knew exactly where they were. She dragged her feet. It was cold, and her bag was digging into her back, and they were following an ice giant deeper into the mountains. Okay, thanks for listening. Bye.